I'll be making halo halo, which is when it's translated, halo means mix, and halo halo means like mixing. Usually, when for verbs, we usually just say them twice when we say that we're doing it in the present. Okay, so let's get mixing. So if you guys are familiar with halo halo, it's basically a dessert where you mix in a bunch of ingredients. There are specific ingredients, like as you can see over here, like the beans, the ice cream, like it's called ube. And I'll show you the specific ingredients later on. But this is what it generally looks like. So I have a glass that kind of looks like the one over there. And what we do is we put them in layers and then mix them. But a bit of background behind Philippines dessert called halo halo. I think I read somewhere that it originated from Japan. So, you know, back then we didn't have the technology to make ice. So we wouldn't have had this dish wouldn't have existed 100 years ago. But once the Americans introduced ice machines to our country, and I guess the Japanese also influenced our dishes, we got to make this, which is like basically shaved ice and ingredients. So that's a little bit of history behind halo halo. And the ingredients, we have sweet red beans over here, which is like right over here. You can see it. So in this jar, we have the white beans, the plantains, and some of the coconut. And then we also have the coconut gel, which I have the coconut strings, which we call makapuno, which is basically the shavings of the coconut inside. And then we have here we go, the coconut gel, and fresh chunks of jackfruit, which we call langka. And then we have evaporated milk and shaved ice. So I'm just gonna start mixing this so that you can see what it's like. So usually you start with the fillings first. And you can really decide whichever ones you like the most. Most people don't like the beans. I think it's more of like Filipinos that like the beans. But it's good to add them because they're kind of sweet. So let's add our first layer. We have the coconut gel. I'll actually just pour this with. And the beans. White beans. That's the first layer. And then we can add on the jackfruit. The jackfruit is like a yellow fruit. It's usually really huge, and the outside shell is really spiky. So if you go to like an international grocery market, you'll find it there. Then we have jackfruit, which looks like this. I don't know.
You want me to make you bigger? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, that works.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is what our thing looks like now. We have our first layer of beans, and then we're adding in jackfruit. I guess one way to think of jackfruit is that they look like really thinly sliced mango pieces. I think that's one way of looking at it. It's yellow like a banana, and it's thinly sliced. If you can imagine thinly sliced mangoes. And then you can actually start adding ice, but I'm gonna put the coconut strings first, make another layer of that. So usually the dish would be very, very colorful by the end of all the ingredients. We're having more of layers now. And then we can add more of the coconut gel. We had some of the coconut gel. Maybe some of the sugar palm. Also, there are different variations. Sometimes people put shaved cantaloupe. Really, you can add any fruit you want, like that makes it sweeter. So however we can. There you go. And the occasions that people usually use this is like as a dessert because it is super sweet. Okay. So these are the layers we have so far. So you have the, if you can see, the beans, the jackfruit, the coconut strings, and then just some jello, like jello up here. And then you put the ice over. So you put the ice, you can put the ube, which is basically a purplish yam. I don't want to put too much ice up here. So you some of that on top. I'm ready to eat this. So you've got our ube on top.
One question, Josh. I want to know if you let the ice melt or you eat it kind of crunchy.
You eat it crunchy. If you think of, what do you call these? Like the snow cones. If you think of the snow cones, you want the ice to be shaved ice, and then put it after you put like all those other ingredients and the ube on top. So this is what it looks like. The ice, and then afterwards it's kind of watery. I think some of the. And then after you've done all of that, you can put the milk right over here, evaporated milk. Let me open it up. Just pour the evaporated milk over the dish, or the dessert.
If the ice is crushed.
There you go.
You might tell them it's more crushed.
Yeah, make sure that like the ice is crushed enough that it looks like shaved ice, like the kind of ice that you would put on snow cones. And here's our finished product. Not as colorful. I mean, we do have, usually what makes it colorful is like the food coloring they put on the jellos, but this is it, the full halo halo. And I might sample it right now.
Yeah. Go ahead first.
Oh, and then it's not only that, but after that you start mixing it so that you can get all the flavors like mixed together. Usually it's hard to mix it because they fill it all the way to the top. And that's what it would look like when it's mixed. And you'll get a better idea of how like the layers are in the pictures. But I'm just showing you how it's usually put together very easily. And
do you want to go back to your slides?
Yeah.
Or?
So, yeah, this is the kind of pictures they would usually show in advertisements when there's like a restaurant is selling, you know, halo halo. And some of the Cajuns, like I said, it's usually what do you call this? It's usually either snacks or dessert. And some of the, as you can see over here, the pictures, we have what we call sari-sari stores, which are kind of like basically street vendors, or like little kiosks in the streets where they sell chips and all different kinds of snacks. Also, we have merienda. Merienda in the Philippines means snacks as well. And so we would have like these stores to sell like the different kinds of meriendas, snacks, desserts, halo halo. And yeah, that's it for halo halo.
Right. And one other question for you, Josh. We want to know why you didn't use, is there sometimes ice cream in halo halo or not at the top?
There could be ice cream, but usually it's just the ube. You can substitute ice cream for the ube though. It's just a preference. Also, like there are different variations of halo halo. So you can just figure out whether you like ice cream more than ube, or you can also add, like I said, shaved cantaloupe, pineapples if you want. The more fruits, the better, I guess.